Hello and welcome to After Sound Review. This time I will review this Shanling ME80. First of all, thank you for CSI Zone for providing me with this review unit. And just like usual, I will review them from the build, fit, frequency response, sound, and comparison. Right from the build itself, for me, it's definitely shown that it's a really high quality IM. It is all made of metal with resin faceplate with Shanling name on it. Also, the filter is also metal, and it's using MMCX connector, which has this red marking for its right and then blue for its left. The ear guide, it's not really flexible, it's quite hard actually, but the cable is really flexible and it's not braided, but it's like I see that there's a kind of twisted cable inside with a very flexible plastic wrapping around it. So for me overall, it looks and feels really high quality. And when it comes to fitting for my small Asian ears, it definitely fits like a glove. You can see here is how I wear them, and even though I headbang or I move my head like this, it always stays in place. So yeah, it just really feels good in my ears. I could wear them for hours without any fatigue or any discomfort. And then okay, let's just go straight to the frequency response. For the frequency response of the Shanling ME80, I could simply describe them as V-shaped, because as you can see that there's an elevation in the bass area and also the upper mid-range to treble area that makes it sounds your typical Chi-Fi V-shaped-ish. And if I have to compare them with some of the famous IMs in its around price range like the Moondrop area, for me Moondrop area is somehow Harman-ish IM. It's less shouty, it's less piercing in the treble area, so it's just simply more balanced for me for Moondrop area. But that being said, even though it shows similar bass response in the frequency response, for me the punch is definitely better and more fun in the Shanling ME80. And this is how it is compared to the Whizzer He01. I should say that I need to change a bit the color so you could see better. Now the Shanling ME80 is still more V-shaped thanks to its more pronounced treble area, while the Shanling Whizzer He01, after the upper mid-range rise around here, around the 3 to 4K, it has a large dip around the treble area, and after that this is only the resonance peak. So Shanling ME80 is definitely, again, it's more V-shaped than the Whizzer He01. Whizzer is more vocal oriented in the upper mid-range, but after that it's smoother in the treble area, and also it has more mid-bass. And compared to the Shanling MTW300, its brother, the MTW, is definitely, for me, again, it is somehow more balanced. It's not as shouty, it's not as forward in the upper mid-range to treble area, it is more calm around this area. I should say that you should ignore this. This is only a bit of distortion because of the fitting in my coupler. And yeah, somehow for me the Shanling ME80 is simply a V-shaped-ish IM with a lot of energy on the lower end and also on the upper ends. As for the sound for this Shanling ME80, I could simply categorize them as fun V-shaped-ish sound. Yes, it's just your generic V-shaped tuning, but with a really good bass punch. For me, that's the main highlight of this IM. This is really fun with a really good bass thump, bass punch in the low end. Okay, let's judge from the bass. Yeah, like I said, this is the main highlight of this IM. It is punchy, it is deep, and you can definitely feel that textured punch that I really love when I'm expecting a dynamic driver. And then it also have quite good speed that will not go slow even though you play a lot of rock songs or pop songs. It's just a really good, versatile, punchy bass. And if you're a bass head and you love thumping bass, good quality bass at this price point, the Shanling ME80 could definitely goes up as one of my primary suggestion. And then when it comes to the mid-range, for me the mid-range is somehow losing a bit in highlight compared to the bass. It's not as tidy, I could say. It's not as refined as the bass. I could feel there's some harshness going on around the upper mid-range that makes the vocal could sounds a bit harsh, depends on the song. But yeah, I found some songs like from the Whizzer, the Galway Girl, I found it to be a little bit harsh or a little bit shouty at times. But nevertheless, it never goes over sibilance or something like that. There's just a little bit of harshness that I could hear. And then the treble, again, this is a energetic treble, so you hear a lot of cymbal crash, a lot of flute and instruments around that area. But again, it may be not the best when it comes to timbre. It somehow sounds quite metallic at some songs. Yeah. And when it comes to technicality, for me they are actually really good. The soundstage is 3D-ish with good separation and also good imaging. So yeah, if you like live music, for me this is one of the best IM that you could find at this price range, because how with the bass punch and the 3D-ness, also the imaging is. So for me, yeah, it's quite surprising for me that Shanling made this kind of sound actually. And when it comes to comparison, I will compare them with one of my benchmark around its price range, which is the Whizzer He01. For me, this Whizzer He01 is actually sounds more organic. It is sweeter and smoother, but at the same time it is less fun, it is less exciting, it is not as 3D, as detailed as the Shanling ME80. Yes, Shanling ME80 is more detailed than this Whizzer He01, but if I'm using them for a long time listening, I definitely will pick this Whizzer He01 thanks to how organic it sounds to my ears. It just sounds smoother and it's more easy to listen to for a long time. While the Shanling ME80, maybe it's more suitable for live music or maybe top 40 pop or maybe top 40 rock songs. Okay, and then when it comes to comparison again somehow with its brother, the Shanling MTW300, for me this is really surprising, because I thought because they don't really have a large difference in price. So I really expected that this Shanling MTW300 sounds exactly that the Shanling ME80, but with true wireless mode. But that's not the case. The Shanling MT300 is simply much more organic sound than the Shanling ME80. Yes, to my surprise, I really like the Shanling MT300. But I don't really like the signature sound of this Shanling ME80 because I'm not a bass head or a V-shaped head. It's just my personal preference. But if you like the live music, if you like your bass to be really punchy and fun, you love that V-shaped kind of fun, for me Shanling ME80, I could definitely recommend them, because they not also have that kind of sound signature, but they also have great looks. But it's just really different. If you want more organic sound somehow, you can just pick the true wireless mode from Shanling. So I hope that's it. I hope you like it. If you have any question, please write down in the comment below. And see you next time. Bye bye.